Legendary teams, major players, and electrifying tactical action are back in CSGO Regional Major Rankings 2021. From June 27th till July 4th, 10 teams will clash in the thrilling showdown for the prize pool of $100,000 and slots at the PGL Major Stockholm 2021. Who will win more rounds? Who will show the most furious play? And who will claim the major prize? Find out at the CSGO Regional Major Rankings 2021. And don't forget to reload.
Hello, welcome back everybody. It's time to get underway here for the StarLadder RMRs, the CIS, and you're watching the secondary stream. My name is Dinko, joined by Holka for this one, and we're hopping into a great day of Counter-Strike. How have you been enjoying yourself? There's been so much action, so many rounds, so many maps. Are you still here with us, Holka? You exhausted yet?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it still. You know, we've had some long games in there, especially the VPs when they go so slow every round. Sometimes you can lose focus a little bit, but all in all, it has been fun. I think it's been enjoyable seeing some of these upsets come through, seeing some of these lower ranked CIS teams proving to us what they can do, and it's still open in a couple of these spots for who's going to get into those third or top two spots in the group.
It definitely is. Let's take a look at the standings, though, of the RMR and see how things are shaping up. If you are unfamiliar with what this is the Regional Major Ranking. This is the qualification process for the Major, which is the World Championship of Counter-Strike. And Team Spirit currently leading the way in terms of points. In behind them is Na'Vi. Gambit in third place, just 80 points behind Na'Vi. They both look like they're going to go out in Group A easily. VP, they've had a terrible start, and they really need points at this point. You know, their spot is up for grabs in Tropic and Fours. Unfortunately, with the way things are played out over in their group, though, Holka, they might not get enough points, even with the prime opportunity of Virtus Pro underperforming. So things are definitely heating up, and the closer we get to the Major, the more points are on the line in these RMRs.
We could definitely see one of those Group B teams go through, though. A team like K23, for example, might have a chance. Even 100 Pink Gods could try and come out of nowhere and put themselves in contention, because even if you finish in just 5th place, you get 1,500 points. That's nearly enough to get up there into those spots already. It's enough to overtake Akuma, who haven't, well, they're not going to get any points at this point, right? They've got 3 losses. I don't think there's even any chance for them to make it through. So there's already that one spot that everyone knows is kind of up for grabs.
Yeah, I think many people would have predicted that coming in, and we're going to take a look at the standings. And these are the map wins and map losses, not maps play, or maps, should I say, wins and losses. It's just map wins and losses. So Gambit have come out on top of Group A, continuing to flawless run with 9 points on the board. Na'Vi took a win yesterday against Akuma. Simple was saying it was a bit of a boring game. And over for Group B, Team Spirit continued their run as well, just getting over Virtus Pro yesterday in a 3-map series. They've gone 3 maps in every single one of them, Team Spirit, but they're getting the wins, and that's all that matters. And you were talking about the 100 Pink Gods and K23, Holka. These two teams, for me, are the most exciting in Group B right now.
Yeah, they're both 2nd and 3rd respectively. They have the same amount of points as Entropic, but they've actually played 1 game less than Entropic. Now, I think they do have some tough games coming up, but still, chances for them to cause some upsets, which some of them have already done. And if we take a look at our schedule, we're starting with Nemiga against Akuma, 2 teams who are yet to get a win here at the CIS RMR, but I would say for largely different reasons, Dinko. Akuma have kind of been blown out in every series, while Nemiga have shown real signs of life. They've played probably the 2 hardest games here so far against Gambit and Na'Vi, and they took a map in both of those series. So I think the Nemiga have pleasantly surprised a lot of people, but now they've got to get some points on the board.
Well, they're going up against Akuma, and I feel really bad for Nemiga in this tournament in terms of how well they've been playing and how little wins they've been getting, how little rewards have been up for grabs for them. So against Akuma, this is finally a chance for them to get that win, and they really should be taking the win against Akuma here. They have not looked good at all in the tournament in comparison to their performance in the previous RMR. Sensei, certainly the player we look to, though, as probably the best of this team. We've had rumors of maybe some roster moves going down here, so I'm not quite sure of the mentality in the camp here for Akuma, but if they are going to get a win, if they are going to upset Nemiga even in a map, I think Sensei has to be a big part of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you said, some announcements almost from the players that are saying that they're kind of looking for new teams at this point is never a good look going into your last game of the RMR. While for Nemiga, like we were saying earlier, they played a super close series against Gambit. They took 2 maps very close there. They were even able to win Inferno. And for this team, I think all in all, you're always looking at Lollipop, who's just a super smart and super good aimer for this team. But so far in this tournament, it's been pretty even across the board, in all honesty, for them. And iDisbalance, as their AWPer, who can sometimes be streaky, has also been playing pretty well. He's actually been their highest rated player so far. So that's definitely something exciting to watch out for. And if we look at this specific matchup, these two teams haven't played each other in a long, long time, in fact, going all the way back to mid-2020.
Yeah, Winners League. Good throwback there. But yeah, it's been a pretty one-sided affair for Nemiga in that they win 16-5, 16-4, and 16-11. I think Akuma coming into this one have got their work cut out for them, because it really does feel like the miracle run they went on in the last RMR has kind of come to a halt here, shall we say, the StarLadder one. So yeah, I'm feeling like Akuma should be dropping the ball. I think it's going to be a 2-0 here for Nemiga. We haven't even gotten into the map veto yet, but I just feel like Nemiga have a pretty good map pool. They're willing to play a lot of maps, and they've been looking really good even against the best teams in this tournament. So right now, Hawk, I'm already sort of leaning towards Nemiga heavily.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think they've just shown us a good ability to compete against the best teams. I think there's a lot to like about Nemiga too. They do play somewhat unorthodox sometimes. You'll see quite a lot of aggression from them, specifically from Box. He loves to just fight as much as possible, and that can catch teams off guard, especially when he's got his teammates there to help him. And just in general, this Nemiga team have a bunch of players who can just step up and carry a map, which is always a nice thing to have.
Well, let's see if they're going to get caught off guard by the map veto. We're going to hop into it and take a look at where we'll be fighting our battles here. And it's going to be Ancient coming out as the ban for Nemiga. No surprises there. Generally, they're permanent ban. And we expect Akuma to come in with the Overpass ban. They've done that. So what does it leave us with, Hawker? Let's take us through it.
Well, so far, Nemiga have picked Inferno in their first 2 best-of-3s, and they played a really close map against Gambit. They were even able to get the win against Gambit on Inferno. So even though that win rate looks low, I think it's definitely a map that it makes sense to pick for them. It seems to be the map that they've come into the CIS RMR with the most form on. Even if you go back to the qualifier, they beat Khan 16-7 on this map. So goes to show when they're playing against some of the weaker opposition, they're able to get that win through. Now for Akuma, they go for the Vertigo. I think that makes a good bit of sense for them. Partly just because, it is a map that, again, Nemiga's win rate isn't great on, but it's also a map that Nemiga do play a fair bit. So I think this is more Akuma going for a bit of comfort here, going for a map that they generally tend to get decent results on. And I think that could still be a 2-0 to Nemiga, in my mind at least. I do think Nemiga are good on Vertigo. They're not awful on it. It's not like this is a punish pick. So, yeah, it's okay pick for Akuma, but not ideal, I don't think. And now they go ahead and get rid of that Mirage, which is another map that I think Nemiga are generally quite good on. I think it suits their skilled and aggressive style well. So that ban makes a lot of sense to me. And then I believe we have Dust 2 and Nuke left in there. I think Nemiga generally don't like that Dust 2 all that much, so they do go ahead and get rid of that at the end, leaving the Nuke as the decider. You can see the win rates for these teams kind of low on a lot of these maps, but Nemiga have really turned their form around, it feels like, coming into this tournament. So I still think Nemiga will be happy with this veto all in all. I think all they needed to do was get a few comfortable maps for them, and I think they've done that.
I think we're looking real good right now for a good series as well. In terms of getting Vertigo in, we haven't really seen too much of that over here. Hoku, we've been seeing a lot of Nuke, we've been seeing a lot of Overpass. We've seen Inferno quite a bit as well, but I'm kind of looking forward to seeing some Vertigo. I generally enjoy CIS matches on the map, so no Dust 2s, no Mirages, that's all I care about. And we're going to hop into the last 3 months stats here on Inferno. You see Akuma taking losses against Gambit and 4s, a close game against 4s, and a loss against Double Pony. The only wins they've been able to pick up are against ENG or In-Game and Grand, another CIS roster who are around the tier 3 level. For Nemiga, it is a 16-7 loss on Na'Vi. There's absolutely no problem in losing to Na'Vi at Inferno like that. 16-14 win over Gambit is incredible coming in for Nemiga, so that's very well played from them. A 16-7 over Khan and Lingby Vikings and LDLC losses. But so looking at those results, online Counter-Strike in those tournaments is really hard to predict. So I feel like the win over Gambit gives me a lot of hope for the recency bias in terms of how they've been performing recently, and I think that it really gives us confidence moving forward.
And then you see this Vertigo again. It was another close one between Nemiga and Gambit. That was actually the map that Gambit picked too. So to take that so close, pretty impressive, but they're rarely getting outright wins on the Vertigo. Whereas for Akuma, they haven't played it too often, but generally they put up at least a good fight on it, or they even have a couple of pretty good wins in there. You know, we've seen K23 come into this tournament and cause some surprises already. So that win has aged quite well. Double Pony, obviously a decent team from France, so not bad results from Akuma. And I think the interesting thing about Vertigo to me is just seeing what Nemiga show up like on that map. I think there is a chance they could just come in and take this 2-0, but Akuma getting their best possible chance, and then Nuke as the decider again. Fair few losses from Nemiga, but at this tournament, it feels like in the last week or two, their form has started to increase, started to get better and better. So some of these results are from a bit, further back than that. And even, playing in Tropic close, that's not a bad result. And Tropic are a decent Nuke team. 100 ping Gods in there, another team that are dangerous, we know, on their day. So I still think Nemiga should be pretty solid favorites here. Just everything seems to be going wrong for Akuma right now.
Yeah, everything's gone off the face of the earth. It's perfectly set up here for Nemiga to finally get their first win. I'm predicting a 2-0 Hawk. I don't know about you, but I feel like you're going to be along the similar thought process here.
Yeah, I have to go with the 2-0. The known quantity of Nemiga is much easier to predict than Akuma, who we don't know how seriously they're going to take this. In all honesty, we don't know what their lineup's looking like. We know that they don't really have all that much to play for, but if it was me, I would absolutely be playing for my pride, playing to get that win on the board. You've got to do it just to see if you can cause some issues for some of the other teams that think they may get to the playoffs easily. There's definitely a way you can stop that from happening. So I hope we get to see Akuma showing up here. I hope we get to see an improved look from them, but I'm a little scared that there hasn't been much time for them to try and turn this round.
Yeah, it's not really looking that great for the chances. And I mean, for Nemiga, it's really important for them to get a win here. Because like we've talked about, the fact they're playing against the best teams, it can be a great confidence builder that you're playing Gambit and Na'Vi really close, but you haven't got the wins there, right? So picking up a win and really seeing how it goes against Akuma, okay, all this confidence you picked up by playing the better teams, if you can translate that into a convincing victory against a team you should be beating, then that really continues that confidence for Nemiga. And I think when you talk about Nemiga in terms of the players they've got here on this team, like Lollipop, I feel like I've been waiting for him to just get a better opportunity at some point, or for just him to break out and really become someone everybody talks about. And he hasn't really got that opportunity yet, but I feel like that's coming, because for so long, Hawker, he's just been insane. And even when he had that broken arm, he was still getting like 35 kills on Mirage against some of the best teams in the world. So I feel like Lollipop is the player for me to watch today, but it's the depth on the team that gets me most excited about Nemiga. They can have another player step up if needed, and we're running right into Inferno. It's going to be utility out for Idis Balance and Box. A lot of utility in this pistol round, Hawker.
A good amount of nades on the T side. They're ready to go ahead and get themselves underway into Inferno. As for Akuma, they got themselves a set of nades on Psycho. They also have Demk going ahead and buying nothing until the last second, where he picks up his Kevlar for himself. We are underway into Inferno. Nades at the ready for Idis Balance, but I don't think the flash is even needed. Jayo's already walked onto Banana, and Akuma is sitting back on their own side of the map. So free banana control for Nemiga. That gives them a lot of nades if they want to set up this execute.
I like the setup here on the defense, though. Sergey's playing on top of Coffins, has his teammate at first oranges. They can help each other out once the attack starts to come in here for Nemiga. Sergey's going to drop in behind the smoke. Psycho at first oranges. Sergey's doing damage, but no kills yet for the defense. It is Nemiga that have picked up the first. Another bomb plant starting to come through as well. None of the shots landing through the smoke, and so Nemiga get a solid post plant with 5 players still alive.
No kit for Akuma either, so there have to be quick kills here. And Box isn't giving away that fight too early. He's sitting behind this wood. Jackie moves in, but Box is ready for him, and that might just end the round right there.
I think you're right there, Nemiga. Just getting 2 easy kills. No retake attempt really coming through here. And every single player that tried to take a fight just lost their life quickly, so Sensei is out of there running away from the battlefield. And Nemiga can get a good start here in Inferno. I like the banana take. Initially, the setup looked like it was going to be able to at least take down a player, but just the way Nemiga isolated the bomb site with the smoke grenades as well, just putting Psycho under a lot of pressure. There's not much you can do about that if you're on the C2 side. So Nemiga, great start into the game. Akuma coming in with a force buy though. They got Deagles, Tech 9s, HEs. The amount of HEs they've got make me think there's going to be a nade stack here.
Certainly could be. Sensei is going to duck getting any utility so that he can save a bit more money to get that all out sooner, but can come a couple of nades on Banana. Not really assembled in the same positions there. Normally, you want those nades in the same spot. Those second nades do a bit more damage, though. And elsewhere, Sensei's actually been able to get that early kill over towards second mid. So Nemiga may be forced into this B play here. They have no map control elsewhere, and it's a 3-man B stack. So good thing that Nemiga didn't pull the trigger on that. But they're going to feel pretty uncomfortable right now. They really have no map control.
Gotta just rely that you have the better weapons here, and that it should be winning the round at this point. Yeah, it's not the most comfortable situation for Nemiga, but to get a couple of kills quickly on the B site, that can very quickly change. They have to be aware of this. Oh my god, Dem right through the smoke, the headshot on the Deagle, and Psycho gets away with 2. The CZ rattling to the heads of Nemiga, and now it is just MDS, 16 HP as he goes back down Banana. That is a nightmare round for Nemiga, but a much-needed round win for Akuma.
Sensei's even pushing in behind here. Ooh, MDS just about sneaks his way into the T apartments. I think he may have dodged Sensei. In theory, if he knew that the A site was open, he could have actually ran all the way onto A and planted, but there's obviously no way he can know that, and now Sensei's going to spot him on the flank. So Akuma take their round right back, everyone surviving for them, and I think a big part of that is just that kill that Sensei gets on towards Lollipop on the other side of the map. Just puts so much pressure on the Nemiga players. Their lurker or their player who's keeping the map control elsewhere is gone, and instantly that throws the round into disarray.
Nemiga have got a buyout. Do they lean heavy towards A? Because they could just go for the quick apartments pop. And that can often get you a round win when you need it. But they're going to send one player up Banana, really trying to force back the CT so that quick flank can't come up middle. Box, oh my god, how does he get out of that without taking damage from the Molotov? Very lucky there from Box, and actually that's pulled out of rotation. They've got another player over on the B-bomb site. This apartment pop might just work out perfectly. Dempika's looking into middle. Utility is starting to come in. Nemiga waiting to be explosive. Often you will see that balcony explosion come out, but they're not putting utility there. They don't even have that many players leaning towards balcony. It looks like they're going to try and split up short alongside the balcony pop, really taking their time. They've still got 3 players for Akuma on the B-bomb site though, and they show no sign of rotating back over. And because Nemiga have been quiet on A, they can afford to take their time because they haven't given any info to Akuma to make that rotation. But finally, utility starts to come in. The pop out of the apartments does come through. It's 1 kill for MDS. Jackie does really good work actually from the side here to get out with 2. And he's still alive. So that's just buying time for his teammates to rotate over. And I just balance in towards Archway, peeks out into Library. And now Jackie, he's still alive somehow, but he's low on HP and finally overrun from 2 avenues. Nemiga crunch him, and everything is crumbling. I just balance on the rifle, and now it's just Psycho saving his weapon into the next one. And that is how good those A-pops can be.
Really nice spot from iDisbalance there too when he was waiting for that long player to come in on the rotate. He was waiting for the Library player. He's able to tuck into that little corner, in towards Arch and pop his head out as soon as he hears that player, as soon as he thinks he can get the drop on him. And cutting off that rotation means that Nemiga can just wrap that A site. As you pointed out, so many players running round onto the bomb site. They're able to get those rifles into their hands. A lovely triple kill from iDisbalance in the end. Someone who I pointed out in the pregame has been their highest rated player so far in this tournament, which is definitely impressive considering the competition they've faced. Nice shot from Psycho, but he's trading quite quickly, and back and forth we go. Nemiga's turn to try and put themselves back in front early.
You can't miss up those opportunities, right? When you get a second round force buy after losing the pistol, you've got to be able to replicate that success. And they don't do it here, Akuma. It's going to be much more difficult for them, but they do have 2 rifles, a couple of Deagles out and play around it. We've seen them win with less, so it really is Nemiga now who have to try and stomach the first couple. If you can do that, whenever the team comes out ahead in this round is likely to get a comfortable start. For Nemiga, I would love that. On their map pick, they're going to throw some utility around the half wall. Box is deciding he wants to go and take that fight, and Jayo's in behind him. Brilliant openings coming in here for Nemiga.
Lovely early kills, catching out the banana aggression. Smoke goes into CT. Sturgis has one in reply. Oh, good shot from Lollipop though. Now that they've got that player in towards top mid, Nemiga could really go either way with this. Ouch, that's a tough shot to take for Jayo. Demk gets him through the smoke. That's been pretty good on these smoke spams so far, but I think now that you've seen there's at least one man on B, you can just run it back to A, and Nemiga will eventually realize the site is wide open, and they've got the round guaranteed.
It's always a nice feeling when the site is completely empty. You clear everything out, you make sure it's empty, but then you realize there's no one here, so we'll happily plant that bomb. We can be comfortable in our post plants, and Akuma, you'll have to concede this one. And likely the next, because you look at their money, they invested everything into this force buy. Most players with $150 in the bank account. Even less on Sergey's and Sensei. So it has to be the save call for the next round. Either that or just the full force and for the double eco. So Nemiga definitely favored in the next round. And even if they have to go to the double eco, then Nemiga likely find themselves up at around 5 rounds on the board at the start of Inferno. And that's never a good sign for the CTs when you're down 5-1. So Nemiga searching for that.
So that risky aggression, trying to put out the molly, trying to see if you can just make a hero play to catch your opponents off guard. You can see the idea, but it's hard to pull that off in a mid-round scenario. As soon as you extinguish the flames, Nemiga are probably going to be prepared for the aggression. And so Akuma have to go down to pistols in this one. After a fairly competitive start to this game, looks like Nemiga will start to get a solid lead under their belt. Standard map control procedure taking place, but they're eventually going to go back into top mid. It's only Demk here. It's a good shot initially, but he's going to have a hard time getting away.
Oh, he's got away. And not only has he done that, but he's actually done damage. He's kind of unlucky, actually, not to have been able to pick up the second kill yet. No, he will be able to get it, but they're giving him chances, and eventually he does go down, and Jackie runs in, finds the low HP of Lollipop on the USP. We'll switch out to the Deagle now. Trying to look for a couple of shots. Sensei peeks down, a headshot, but look at the cleanup starting to come in from the rifles. Finally, they get it, but down to a 1 versus 1. That's not comfortable for Nemiga at all.
Demk actually delayed so well there on the A site. He was alone on A, so he had to survive for so long. Getting this first kill was a nice way to start it, and then he actually bought enough time for his teammates to get onto the site, which made it so much more difficult for Nemiga, who had a lot of different angles to clear out. Eventually, though, Akuma decide they're going to peek together, try and see if they can take the fight to Nemiga, and they come close to the round win, but Only damage this time round. Still good damage though, and here comes some aggression on their gun round. Demp pushing down Banana, and his molly alongside his rifle gonna net him the early kills.
And now the game becomes recovering this mission for Nemiga. You're down a player. It's never easy to come back into these, but they looked back into Banana. They've also got a lot of utility still left. There is only one player at the moment over towards B, but that has changed just as I say it. Dempka's come over from A. Now he'll be playing in towards CT spawn. Because of the utility available for Nemiga, they can smoke off CT spawn, isolate the fight onto Psycho. And maybe they get the site here, but they would like to get it cleanly. They don't really want to lose a player against Psycho because that would give them a huge advantage. And the shots landed here for Idis Balance. He's going to throw a nade in, and he was about to throw the Molotov, but Lollipop holds out the edge, tells Idis Balance to save the molly. And now the attack into the B-bomb site. Now they've done that without dropping a player. It is a 3v3 post plan. And once again, Nemiga have a good chance of winning this round. Even through the smoke, it's Lollipop who gets the kill. It gives them the advantage. And Idis Balance trying to play on top of the smoke. He does eventually get away with one. Probably should have hit that shot initially, but now it's just down to Sensei. He's dropped the bomb down. 13 seconds left. Finally goes down. P250 to the head. And it's Nemiga that win the round, but my God, it's never easy.
Yeah, you're really hoping that Idis Balance lands those shots early on those CT players. Missed out on that first opportunity, which kind of caused some chaos for a second there, but eventually made up for it as he peaked CT with the P250, of all things, to win his team the round. And Akuma will be back down to pistols after that early aggression went their way in the round after getting that early advantage. Nemiga able to bring it back. Oh, what a shot from Psycho, though. Just swinging on Banana and taking Box out of the action early.
Poor Psycho. He wants to try and get around the corner here. Deagle in hand, and it's not going to work for the kill. J-Up, even with the body shots, is enough to take him out. So has to kill back. Lollipop has just missed the timing on the aggressive play there of Jackie, who has got down towards the bottom of the apartments. They're trying to win this fight on B. Eventually they will. Idis Balance is going to switch out the AWP to the low HP of J-O. And Jackie, look at this. Look at the timing. Every single time he gets a good chance. But now that might change because it does take time to get out of the underpass. They don't know he's coming up Banana, but eventually they will start to watch that, I'm sure. Sensei is taking one on the J-O. The Deagle's doing good work over the top of the smoke as well. Idis Balance goes back up to the position. And Jackie, oh, finally, Lollipop turns around. But Demp is landing shots and finally taken out of play. Lollipop saving the day. Goes back and looks at Banana and then finishes it off for the 1v1.
Man, Akuma are always scary on those Deagles. We've seen it so many times in this tournament. It almost feels like at times they are more dangerous on the Deags than their standard rifle rounds. Bringing that one down to the 1v1. Some incredible shots in there, but not able to break Nemiga, who go ahead and take a 6-1 lead. Now Akuma will go ahead and take a tactical timeout ahead of this one. Because they've brought these rounds so close, they actually have a chance to reset Nemiga's economy here with a round win. So even though Akuma are 6-1 down, one round in their favor could make a big difference, could help put them on a win streak. I'm sure they will be aware of that. Sensei's got the AWP, full rifles on the board for Akuma. That Banana aggression worked out for them previously. Let's see if they go for it again as they've got 3B early.
Oh, Sensei, that's a risky position. And that's what can happen. Lollipop just comes down the boiler stairs. Really quick start to the round here for Nemiga. They're going into the A site. They've already found that one kill, which puts Jackie alone up in the balcony, trying to dodge the flashbangs. He did spot the head of Box. He's actually run into pit with a bomb. Jackie could make things a little more uncomfortable, but finally exits the apartments and it's J.O. with the headshot. Jackie down, and now really for Akuma, there's not too many other options to them. They have to save their weapons. It wasn't enough done on the initial hold. And because of that, yeah, you just got to get comfy. And they're right back up in the apartment here, Hulk. You know, still for sale. Anybody wants it, you know, long-term rent, it's available.
In general, I don't mind that peak from Sensei, but I think he picked a really bad round to do it. His teammates are 3B in this round. If you actually watch the round play out, as soon as Sensei goes down is when Akuma start to take banana control. And they got banana control. Their nades were really solid. They took the entirety of banana. But once one of your A players goes down so soon in the round, Nemiga are just going to pounce on that. They quickly pounce onto the A bomb site. I think that's a round where Sensei would have been better served, playing a bit more passively, playing a bit further back. Because once Nemiga hear Akuma take banana, they may just run into the A site. And Sensei's all playing more passively could have had the chances. But he tries to take the fight to them, tries to do it alone. As soon as he goes down, the round becomes so much more difficult for Akuma. At least they're able to save some guns, though, so they can continue with a buy. But a nice, clean and comfortable round win for Nemiga there. Oh.
All right, MDS just smashing Psycho down. Nemiga off to a good start here, man. Advantage just with the utility. And these early kills are always going to make it difficult for the defense. You've got to really try and figure out what CT setup you can go with now. Your initial plans have all been screwed up by that, so got to figure out what's left and what's the best scenario for you. Right now it is the 2-for-2 setup. 2 players on the A bomb site, 2 at B, and they might just get that rotation starting to come over to the A site. I like this from Akuma, you know, sending that player over early, trying to gamble out that it's going to be the A hit. They'll be 100% right with this as well, because Nemiga are coming into the A bomb site. You've got Jackie in mini pit, and Demka's just come over to default to play with Sensei, who is inside of the site. They know the Raptor's coming long. Jo runs into the site, but Denk comes out with a double kill, and Sensei alongside Jackie getting their kills. It's all on Idis balance. He's hit one big flick up. He needs a second, and Jackie from pit takes his second. Really good rotation, really good setup there from Akuma. And even though they lose the early players, it's the rest of the decision-making that gets them the round.
You see the Nemiga players having to just kind of run into the same choke point here. Really hard to do so as you run onto the site itself. Then that player has to push through the apartment smoke that had just been delivered, so it starts to become just too far gone. Nemiga had to win one of those early fights onto the site. That didn't happen for them, and despite Box getting that kill on long, flank into A was difficult to pull off. We've got the mollies on banana, but Box has found safe passage in the middle of all those flames. That means that Nemiga may just get banana control. Akuma had so many players there, but they've used a lot of nades and not really got much out of it. Oh.
Little chicken.
Chicken's come to say hello.
Yeah,
I think he reacted to it.
Yeah, he's scared. He was scared by that.
To it.
I'd be scared if a chicken ran at me as well. Sensei under porch, good kill. We see him in this position time and time again. Good setups in from his teammates to help him out, but it is only 2 kills and they do get traded out. Lollipop with a headshot. That is a 3v4, should I say. When that bomb down, that really does make things difficult for Nemiga. They're going to pull an extra player over here for Akuma again to help bolster this A defense, knowing that they have the bomb down in play. A missed shot from Sensei due to the flashbang, making things difficult for him. He's going to try and flash himself in again. Then Psycho is low on HP, so that HE grenade actually does a lot of damage. And Idis Balance turns back and finds his second kill. Sensei thought he had a chance to try and take a peek back, but all that's done is turned it into a Nemiga man advantage. 30 seconds left, and they're going to leave A. They're running back to the B bomb site. And that could get messy because Sergey still has a Molotov.
He's scared of CT, though. He's scared that A-Long's open, so he's having to watch this CT spot. That's going to allow Nemiga to get onto the site before he can use his nades, but he could still molly the ball.
He could, but he's taking fights instead. He's going to molly it, but a little bit too late. The plant will come through. Idis Balance is getting aggressive. He's already made the difference in the round, and he continues to have impact. And finally, Lollipop spots the remaining player as Jackie down, and another round hit for Nemiga. That was looking so good for Akuma. They dropped the bomb early. They got those 2 kills. But it's really Lollipop and Idis Balance to do a lot of hard work into top middle there. And they managed to recover the bomb and the kills, and they get back over to the B site.
Well recovered by Nemiga. Quick call to come back to B. They had to be quick with their site take, and they were successful. They just had so much ground gain that Akuma had too many positions to be concerned about. And now the CTs go for a bit of aggression of their own, but it's been snuffed out early. Fox with an easy kill onto Psycho, who's going through the flames. And Sensei is down to, or sorry, Sergis is down to 26 health on that B site. So, solid take from Nemiga. Should be able to take this one over the line pretty easily from this point.
Utility is gone. Oh my god, Box. Before the smoke even popped at Coffins, a headshot comes through from him at long range with the AK. Demp has come through the CT smoke and is going to try and play in behind the smoke at top banana. And often you will find some unsuspecting players, but they're waiting for that to fade away. There's no pressure on them. In this round for Nemiga, they've still got lots of time. And a re-smoke at Coffins. Keeps Demp behind it. Nemiga are edging closer and closer, and actually Titus balances just no-scoped his teammate somehow. MDS take it down. I wonder how that came through. But somehow they're onto the site, and Nemiga going to be closing out the round. Lollipop with a kill, and Sensei in towards CT spawn. So don't really expect much from the 5-7. 9 rounds for Nemiga. It was close at the beginning of this game, Alex. I think there's been a lot of chances for Akuma, but Nemiga just keep winning the important ones and allows them to just go on these bursts of round wins.
It's looked solid so far. Sensei's just hoping he can get a kill at the end here. They are going to run at him. Okay, maybe 2 kills. He comes close, but Box comes through with a quad kill, and Nemiga get their 9th round win. This was that initial banana play. Box getting that early frag before the smoke. Then they try and move around the molly, but moving into it briefly just makes the fight so difficult, and Sergis even takes a nade for his troubles. So from that point, Nemiga always had a good chance to win the round, even if Idis balance no scope for his teammate. We will go ahead and briefly move past that, because still been going pretty well for Nemiga outside of that. 9-2 lead, Akuma back to a bye. See what they can do with it. Testing banana early.
Oh, lovely shot. Psycho on the kill. Gets in towards top banana in behind the smokes. The flash is one in behind it. And Sergis has hit the headshot. Psycho goes down to top banana. There will be Akuma that have won these early fights. Idis balance again, trying to be the man that gets it over the line here for Nemiga. Tries to make the difference, but it's just not going to happen. Demp with a 3K. And Akuma given a 3rd round. A really good hold in banana there from the CTs.
Demp is definitely one of those players that has impressed me on the Akuma side. They haven't had too many positive moments throughout this tournament, but I think Demp has generally been pretty solid for them. Obviously, he's had a couple of weaker maps in there, but so far here on Inferno, he's been their standout performer with 14 kills. And Sergis, who's been having a tough time so far, has decided to switch things up, picking up a secondary ult for the team. That was a huge kill from Sensei in this round. This is what got them this 2nd round win. Really well taken shot too. Funneled Nemiga into the B site stack. But there haven't been too many moments like that for Akuma. It's generally been a game where the positives have been thin and far between. Got a chance to really get something going here, though, because now Nemiga's money is starting to run dry. They've only got 2 AKs in this round, a couple of MAC 10s in there, so if Akuma win this one, they actually have a really good chance of building something here and getting maybe 5 or 6 rounds at the half.
MDS in towards middle, and Sensei looking down. I think it's better to have the rifle up the border. Here you get out with a quick kill and that will work for him. MDS, he goes down, but it's traded out quickly by Lollipop, and he's going to upgrade himself to the AK-47. Jackie in the apartments. We need to be careful, Nemiga, that they don't get caught by that flank that could potentially come through in just a moment. Sergey's holding down into bottom banana. Oh, Jo trying to fight him. He's peeked out, got the info. Knows the AWP is now holding that position. But generally, when you have an AWP on car like that, if that's information passed to the T's, that they likely could have rotated an extra player over towards this A-bomb side. But they're going to still attack. And they're going to try and run down the defensive players here. Psycho at long. Got the right full spot. One in front of him. Box taking good, but the damage side is balanced. Is the first player to go down, but the collateral and the bomb dropped off of it. It's just Jo alone. I think he realizes this round is going to be so difficult to win now. That bomb stuck in top middle, and there's only 35 seconds to recover it. I think at this point, it's all about saving that AK-47, unfortunately.
Yeah, lovely lineup from Sensei. That's got to give them the round. Jo's realizing it. He's hoovered up a couple of extra nades to save. I guess that's better than nothing. But still not ideal for Nemiga, who were starting to run away with this game, but now they're going to have to take a low buy. And even though Jo saves the AK, his teammates probably want to full save this. You can see their losing bonus at $2,400 means if everyone else invests nothing, they can scrape together a buy into the next. Lollipop can maybe invest a little bit, but the rest of the players won't have that same luxury. I actually like... Oh, okay, Lollipop buys a Kevlar and Tech 9 here. Maybe a bit of a bigger investment than I wanted, but it's okay. It could work. And I like that he's got the Kevlar, because he's going to have a chance to pick up Jo's AK if Jo were to go down in early fights. He's not going to get that chance, though, Dinko. Sensei's actually picked him off early. The Tech 9 down mid, apparently not the best play. Psycho's going aggressive, though. This is a big risk to take here against the pistols. He's going to creep up close. He doesn't realize there's a man on the other side, though. Jo sprays to the body. That's another gun that could be recovered for Nemiga. Serg is only able to get one before falling back.
Oh, Sergey's and Sensei smashing back. And Nemiga, as we enter round 14, are down and not looking too hot. So you do expect this outcome. But there may be a little bit of a chance left in the round if they can get some of these quick B kills. The issue does become they don't have much utility to do it. Just one flashbang on box. They're going to have to play contact. And luckily with this setup, that allows them to get pretty close. I just feel like this AWP is going to at least get one, and then the peek up from the coffin should immediately come through. If you've got the rotation coming over as well, starting to clear out corners now. Good kill from Sergey. There's that one AWP pick, and the flash is good as well from Sensei. Really good stuff there from Akuma. I think the team play has actually been really good from Akuma on the CT side, to be fair to them.
They've had their moments as this game has gone on. They've definitely grown into it. Oh, that was a lovely shot from Sensei early. I'm not sure why Lollipop's going there with the Tech 9, if I'm being honest, but can't complain too much. Sergey's landing some shots too. Yeah, their team play's been pretty good, especially in the rounds where they have to take a risk with the pistols. I think that's when they actually seem to come through with more of a plan in mind, which I think is a really big benefit to them. In the gun rounds, I think sometimes they maybe play a bit too safe, a bit too default. You can see here, I mean, even in this round, Sensei's just going for a solo fight banana. He's not got any support. That's exactly the sort of thing I'm talking about. Gives away his life to Jo. Psycho now tries to come into banana, but it's a little late to the party.
Utility clearing out banana. And Psycho is going to drop back into new box. This is not a very comfortable scenario to be in, especially on the CT side, losing that first pick. So, again, they've got to try and figure out what is the best solution to it. They've gone and boosted the player up in the new box. They haven't done this too often. They've actually just got those kills back elsewhere. Jackie, oh, getting a double. Psycho as well, and that's the round. Surely locked in now. Lollipop's got an open A site he can run to. But if they play their cards correctly, there should be too many players to fight. Lollipop's going to try and dance with death of the AWPer. He gets across, actually, and has a smoke to use up to Moto. If Lollipop can get that bomb planted and into a strong post plant, he might just have a chance here. They're moving quite quickly. And Lollipop does get over towards Graveyard. I think this is the right call for Akuma to slow it down and play together. Lollipop plays in towards Graveyard, a strong position often in these situations. But with so much time and a decent amount of utility left on Surrogates as well, you gotta feel like Lollipop's time is numbered. It would be absolutely unbelievable if he could pull this off, and it just isn't going to happen. Really nice headshot there from Demkin. What a hold initially from Jackie, and then Psycho just out with a double as well.
Got to give them a lot of credit for that. Impressive hold on the A site after losing this early player. I really do feel like Sensei's been taking a few too many risky fights with that AWP, but his teammates are able to come through with the important kills. See there, Jackie well taken. Psycho with a lovely spray transfer. And that means we've got a game on our hands, Dinko. 6-9 at the half, about as good as Akuma could have hoped for, considering the slow start they had. Now they've got a chance to show us what they can do on their T side with 2 sets of nades into the pistol.
Slow one initially, just getting into the apartments and taking that initial map control and just slowing down, taking a breather, getting ready, getting the players in position. Once that banana information is picked up by Psycho, you can start to expect this Akuma play into the A side. But when you look at the defense, it looks like it's in a solid spot to deal with this kind of an apartment pop, right? You've got I Disbalance and Graveyard. Lollipop's now come into the site to double up with MDS. The setup is looking good for Nemiga. We'll see if Akuma can break it down. Now the blocks start running over the top. I Disbalance peeks up from Graveyard. Just one kill, though. The rest has come in very quickly indeed for the T's. And now it's just Box and JO left alone for Nemiga. They will get one quick kill at Library. But Akuma have got decent positions now inside of the site and Graveyard. And they're getting kills as well. JO, not much say in this one, and he's got to run away. Akuma with a pistol, and a really needed one as well.
Looks like we do have a game on our hands here. I wasn't sure if Akuma were going to be able to put up a fight, but they've gone on a good little win streak to get themselves into this position. Nice fast-paced play onto A. Good to see Sergis coming through too, because he had a really slow start to this game. But it seems like he's starting to turn it around now with a valuable triple kill for his team. You can see first half, he got 4 kills on the entire CT side. So getting up to 3 in the pistol was really well done. You can see there, I Disbalance pops up, as you pointed out previously, normally a very strong position, but one that's traded out very quickly this time. Akuma just so far up onto the A site already. We'll see if they can go ahead and win this one against the 4-spy, though, as Nemiga have a good few nades, a couple of MP9s in there. You can never count them out of rounds like this.
MDS really trying to force the issue. And maybe he needs to be careful. Doesn't want to stick around in that angle too long. He could be comfortable fighting mid because he knew that Lollipop had Boiler. But Akuma are actually going to leave A completely and go back over towards his B-bomb site. And right now there is only one player in defense here. He's got a smoke in his hands here, Jo, so he can slow it down and hope for a quick rotation as they're already making that play. Nemiga starting to rotate over, and it's a real deep smoke as well from Jo. I wonder if Akuma respect it. They're going to start throwing some utility. They go through the smoke, and oh, Jo, he could have been able to get something out of that, but nothing picked up for them. And with that kill not going in favor of Nemiga, this retake, although it is coming in, it's still very unlikely they get back in.
Yeah, I'd like a save here. You're not going to be able to buy anything into the next round. You've lost the B site early. This is one of the upsides, actually, of these 4-spies on Inferno at times, is that you can take a bit of a risk in this round, because you know if it goes wrong, you can always just save these guns into the next and try and do damage then. The only issue with that is, of course, Akuma themselves will build up a good bit of money, keeping everyone alive in this round. But all in all, I think it is the lesser of two evils at this point. Concede the round and instead just try and have a better chance at stealing away the next one. As I said, Jo there maybe could have done a bit more, but unable to do anything on the hold. And Akuma are right back in this game, Dinko. It's not been too flashy, honestly. It's been a bit of a grind for them, but got to give them huge props for coming back into this, because they started so flat in this game. And now they've got a bit of spice behind them here.
I don't deal well with spice, nor do Nemiga at this point. Actually, I'm terrible with spice, Hawker. You know, I am ill after a spicy KFC, and it's not even spicy.
We need to train you, Dinko. Train your palate.
Maybe some events of Blair again. Maybe that could get me in the right path. So he's been wanting to get me on some curries and some spices, right? At that point, it's just attempted murder. So I don't think Blair really wants to do that. How are you with spices?
We've got to do a bet sometimes. We've got to do a bet sometime where you have to have something really spicy if you lose the bet. I'm sure Blair will take that bet
my
with
body. As long as it's something I can actually win or you know, avoid if possible, that would be... As long as it's not rigged to the fact that I can't actually come out on top of the bet.
Yeah, it could be like a CS bet.
Yeah.
You could bet on this game if you wanted.
No, that's not allowed. You know?
Well, you could bet the spiciness. Nemiga got a chance here, by the way.
Yeah, they do, and they've got kills, 2 on box, but as soon as we bring it up, he actually loses his life, and then he starts to get kills. Lollipop in with 1. Lovely stuff there from Jackie towards the end. 2 quick headshots, and a 9th round now for Akuma. We tie things up on Inferno. I thought this would have been a far more comfortable affair for Nemiga, and it's all been Akuma in recent rounds. I think Nemiga have kind of forgotten what victory tastes like at this point. Spicy.
They'll be hoping it can come back to them soon. So we get a timeout taken by Akuma, who are starting to realize this game is on. And Nemiga are the ones who are under a good bit of pressure here. Remember, this is their map pick. This is a series they really need to win after taking the 2 losses early. Again, losses against the top teams in the group, but still in a position where you've got to get every win now. There's no real room for error on the Nemiga side. So pressure is on. Let's see how Nemiga can deal with it. It's a lovely shot from Jackie. Demp getting taken down, but Jackie starting to show up to the server. And back-to-back tactical timeouts for Akuma. That suggests to me, Dinko, that someone's maybe just spilled a drink or something. There's something going on here, that's for sure.
You ever spilt anything over your keyboards, Hawker?
I mean, I think everyone has at some point. I don't think I've ever spilt anything too bad, though.
Yeah, the worst one
Probably just water.
Yeah, I think I spilled like a little bit of water on it, but you know, you quickly fix that issue, don't you? You don't leave the bottle there flowing over it. Unlike Mitchman, I'm sure a lot of you probably know who he is. If not, he's a small Irishman that commentates CSGO and other games, and he spilled an entire 2-liter bottle of Fanta over his keyboard. How does that even happen?
I mean, that's going to be sticky as well. That is not good.
It's just stupid. How would you just let it completely flow, the entire bottle? Well, truly wonderful. Anyway, right back into play. Nemiga with a really good buy now. Got that up out for Disbalance. And he actually has been hitting some great shots so far. We need to see more of that, especially on the CT side.
He could be a big part of the reason why they're able to get back on top here if they are. Disbalance playing towards B at the start of this round. 3 players on this B site for Nemiga. Disbalance here alongside Jo, but it's the close-range rifle that opens up the round. And now they can sit back on the site pretty happy, especially with Disbalance landing another kill for his team.
43 seconds left. Jo with his kill on Demk. MDS has been able to find another, and this is much better for Nemiga. Every single important kill on defense comes in. Jo getting the double, and now Sensei thinks about saving that open to the next round. Nemiga do well here to win this round. They desperately needed to do it, and in the fashion that they've done it inspires a lot of confidence in me, because it has been a while since we've seen the buy. And so they're up to 10. If they can keep this going, they could be right back in the driver's seat again. It was a long time ago they were in that, but they can get back into it. Luckily, it looks like Sensei is going to get his AWP into the next one. They're not really pressuring him. They don't have the money, the resources to really risk throwing anything away, so he will get his AWP, and that is a positive for Akuma. I wonder what they do around it, because they could get some AK action going. Sergej's can drop, and he will do that. So a good buy coming out here for Akuma around that AWP. But Nemiga, if they break this one down, it should be Akuma's money in the bin.
Good opportunity here for them. Both teams still hanging in the balance in this game, but Nemiga are the ones who could really do with coming through with the round here on their map pick, just to put themselves in a more comfortable position. Fox playing close to Banana. They're close by, and Sergis gets the kill while blind. Fox was flashed in, the flash was effective. He loses out on the fight, and now his teammate's gone as well. Jo's out of there, and surely it has to be the save for Nemiga. They do have a bit of money in the bank, so if they can save all these guns, they're in an okay spot. But man, that round just fell apart so quickly.
And that's heartbreaking for Nemiga. I was just sort of stating how it could have been the turnaround point for them, but once you lose those 2 quick kills, it's almost guaranteed to be done. And Nemiga have to save their weapons. Really good stuff there from Akuma, and Sergej's, I think he's another player that alongside Sensei, where I've actually been pretty impressed by their individual performance. I think with the rumors of Akuma, some of the players even coming out and saying that they're looking for other options, I think Sergej's and Sensei, to me, have been the 2 players that have caught my eye. I think those are the 2 that really make sense.
Oh, he's definitely having some good impact now after having a pretty slow start in this game. He's come through with a couple of really important T rounds for his team. You always got to give credit to a player that can do that, can come back from that poor start and have a good bit of impact. Nemiga were able to save onto their players. A little unfortunate for them there that Fox got killed by the blind player, but we'll see if they can go ahead and fight for Banana this time. Early nade does good damage. Psycho and Sergis both down to 53 health. Them also taking some damage, so it's a nice bit of damage done early by the Nemiga side. Midas Balance unable to get that shot to go his way. Forced back to the bomb site, but slow start from both teams after that early damage was dealt. I just want to give you a mainstream